Hey guys, this is Morgan. So, just wanted to break down my matches at EVO 2019 this year at Las Vegas, taking place August 2nd to the 4th, the first weekend of August. So I just wanted to make this video and break down my matches during that weekend. It was my 5th time attending EVO. First time was 2015, but I did not compete. I just went there to just support a few of my friends who went there to play. And then when I attended as a spectator that year, I just got hooked and I just got curious. Street Fighter 5 came out the year after, and then ever since then I joined to play at EVO. So this year, 2019, it's actually the best I've ever performed. I got out of pools, so I had to get out of pools, which is already a huge accomplishment. A lot of people tend to go 0-2, so in at EVO or any other major tournament, if you only have two, you can only afford to lose 2 times. So what you're looking at right now, this is the winner's bracket, the winner's side. Everybody starts here. Everybody starts off. Everybody starts off in the winner's side. And so, for example, this pool sees 603. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 people. Maybe 15. Dude, Kevin's right there. But he's not on this side. So you're only for 2 losses. If you win, you progress. So let's say you're Orsonite. You win 1. That's your first opponent. 2, your second opponent. 3, your third opponent. If you get past this person, or you get this far into the bracket, you proceed into the next round of the tournament, and that's your pool. You get out of the pools. If you lose, for example, Rigby, if you lose, you get sent to the loser's side, the bottom bracket. And then let's say Rigby he's not right here, but then he loses to Jifu, he's out of the tournament completely. And Jifu, who lost up there, who lost his first match, he gets sent up here, and he gets to continue if he keeps winning. However, you have a longer path to get out of pools if you're on the loser side. If you're winners, for this particular pool, you only need to win three matches, 3 opponents. Losers 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like the overall concept of these brackets. So for me, this year I played under the name of Panasonic Youth. And the thing about these brackets is they're released a couple weeks before the tournament actually starts. So you can research your opponent, you can look them up. And the cool thing about Street Fighter 5 is every match you play online is recorded. Whether it's a ranked match, a casual match, a battle lounge. So battle lounge is like something where you can just invite people and you guys just play online matches together. So sometimes, most of the time, these people, you can look up their names and it's the same name that they use in the game. Sometimes they don't use that name. So, for example, like I'm playing on a Panasonic Youth, but I actually have 2 accounts. Panasonic Youth is my PC account, but I mainly play on my PS4 account. So yeah, you get a head start. You can check their matches, their match history, and see what kind of tendencies they usually bring out in their matches. Or you can also see are they like a high ranking online player? Are they low rank? So for my first match in particular, Tsumuji, he was a very high level Ibuki player. He's actually at the time when I looked him up, he was like a diamond, super diamond Ibuki. Meanwhile, me, I'm a platinum, super platinum Alex player. So my opponent is basically like 2-3 ranks above me in terms of like online points. I mean, online rank doesn't really matter, but it gives you like it's better than nothing. It gives you like a good rough assessment on how good they are. So Tsumuji, I know he was a high level Ibuki player. Ibuki, just knowing that he plays Ibuki is already good information. So when I read that, when I knew he played Ibuki, I just looked up like, oh, what kind of advice can I use against Ibuki, especially as an Alex player. Alex considered to be one of the worst characters in Street Fighter V, and Ibuki's one of the best characters to use. I just looked up a few things, read up on what Gunfight says about the matchup. Gunfight, he's considered to be the best Alex player in the world right now, and he basically just said use like certain buttons to beat her, establish some crazy mind games with her and stuff like that. So, and that's it. I didn't look at any of his footage. This year I did the least amount of preparation compared to the other 4 years when I tried to compete. So the most I did was just look up who my opponents were and what rank they were, and maybe figure out what kind of character they play, but I never looked at any footage. So Tsumuji, I just tried to use crouching medium kick, standing medium kick, neutral jump if I expect him to do like a jump in EX kunai if any of you guys play Street Fighter. So that's what I did, and I ended up losing the match. He was pretty good. He mixed me up really good, basically destroyed me. But after the match, well, I'll tell you later about. But yeah, so I lost that match, and then I get sent to losers. Right here, so I get to play a player named wasabeef, and before I get any further, I did not record any of these matches. I did record my last match and my last 2 matches I recorded, but these first 4 matches that I played, I did not record anything, and I really regret not recording any of these matches because a couple of them were really, really tough matches, and I really wish I had them. I really wish I had the footage just so I can like watch and see what happened and just learn from it, So my first match I lose, so I get sent to losers, and right now my record is 0-1. So I played Wasabi, who turned out to be a Guile player. Online, when I checked his online stats, he's like a ultra bronze Guile, so a low level player, but he hadn't logged in for like quite a while, and he's a Japanese Guile player. So, and I don't know, they might play differently, right, the Japanese. So I played him, and honestly, it was really, really easy. When the match started, he was just trying to do sonic booms. So I would just walk a little and block, walk a little and block, like walk forward a little, just inch by inch, slowly cornering him until he had no more room to like back up. And that was it. He didn't really pressure me. He was just playing like the more turtle game plan, as in like he would just sonic boom me, and then if I jump, he'll do like a flash kick, and that's it. He'll stuff my jump ins, or he'll throw a sonic boom to get me off of him. But he would never come at me. So it wasn't too much of a challenge, and it was really easy. Actually, I felt bad for beating him. Like I felt like he was really easy, so I don't know, I felt kind of bad beating him. He seemed like a pretty nice guy. So after that, we shook hands, and then I had my second match in losers bracket, Vicioushellsing, who was a Falke player. Falke is one of the new characters in Street Fighter V, And this match was actually really, really challenging because I don't know too much about Falke. Not a lot of people play her online. She's like a zoning character. She tries to keep you away. So when you try to get at her, she has really long range. Her character uses a staff, so she has she can basically it's like fighting somebody with a broomstick. So whenever I got close, she would just hit me with her heavy punch, and then if I jump at her, she would just anti-air me. So it was hard for me to get in. So half of the game I was just far away. Like I was like, why don't you come at me? So I know, because that's better than me, losing health trying to come at her. And I also did this because I know Gunfight, he has said, Falke, if you get the life lead, if you hurt Falke enough that you have more health than her, make her come to you. She has to work hard to attack you, because she doesn't her skill set, it doesn't favor her when she has to work hard to get to you, because she's like a keep away character. And then if she gets in on me, I'm Alex. I'm a command grab character. I can just power bomb her. So it's easy for me. I can sort of anticipate it favors me. So that match was pretty hard. He won one game, I won one game, and then it came down to like the final round, I believe. But he did this thing where he gave me a lot of trouble with one of Falke's moves, where she does she jumps on you, she stomps on your head, and she does like another stomp, and then she does like another stomp. I had no idea what to do in that situation. I think anybody who knows Falke should know what I'm talking about. After the match, my friend told me, dude, that move is so unsafe. You have the advantage in that situation. But I had no idea. But next time, if somebody else does that to me, I would know. Just anti-air. I had no idea. I thought Falke had the advantage. So I ended up beating him, but it was tough but then I also credit just not cracking, just not giving up during this match, because he beat me and he was winning me. It was frustrating, but I didn't give up, and I was able to adapt and just change my game plan in the middle of the match to my favor without like chasing after him. I was like, okay, you know what, let me just step back. There's 90 seconds in a round. Let's buy some time, and assess the current situation. So I credit the mentality and the adaptation to win this match overall. So after I beat this tough match, I ended up fighting Chris B, who's a Laura player. Laura is actually the first character that I played in Street Fighter 5. And then this match was hard. He destroyed me in the first game so bad that I'm pretty sure, because these matches are best 2 out of 3. You have to win 2 games to beat it. So he beat me in the first game, and then when we went into the second game, part of me was thinking, man, is this it? Like, is this game over for the tournament? Because I already had 1 loss. I'm in loser's bracket. And I kind of felt, glancing at him further, I kind of felt like he thought I was just going to be a piece of cake. But during the second match, I kind of picked up some tendencies, because in the first match, I respected him too much. So he just took advantage of me. He just did stuff, and I just sat there taking all the damage. So in the second game, I just disrespected him. I just went a bit more crazy, took a bit more risks, and then that eventually led us to the final round, the third game, basically down to the final hit for both of us. I don't remember the exact sequence, but I know he had me in the corner, and then he was gonna, and then I got knocked down, and then when I woke up, he did something. I don't know what he did, and I just woke up with EX knee. EX knee is not an invincible move, but Crispy must have done something with Laura to make himself open that my EXNI connected. And if my EXNI did not connect and it missed or it got blocked, I would have lost. But he did something, Crispy did something that made Laura, his character, vulnerable to my EXNI, and I won. And yeah, it was just down to the final hit. And then after the match, we shook hands and he was like, dude, great adaptation. And then I told him, dude, you destroyed me. I thought I was done for. And then we just talked a little. He was really cool. And then then later on in the day, like an hour later, we bumped into each other again. And then he was like, yo, did you get out pools? I'm like, yeah. I was like, dude, congrats, man, good luck. So spoiler, I did get out of my pools. So then after this match, I fought my next player, BG Mega Man 2001. And this guy was I looked him up online and it said that he was a Bison player. I think a silver Bison. But then when I played him, he actually picked up Guile first. So in fact, I recorded this match. So I'm gonna play this match for you guys. We're gonna walk through this match. So I'm gonna turn off the sound because it's mainly just crowd stuff. You can hear it. I hopefully you can hear it. And at this point, I just knew I was in the losers final, so I had to win. I had to beat this guy in order to get our pools. That alone made this match high stakes. So I had no idea what to expect. I totally forgot about his rank, his online rank. So I was just like, okay, just be ready for whatever. But then when I saw him pick Guile, I was like, you know what? I already beat a Guile earlier, so I felt kind of safe a bit. But a high level Guile is really, really tough for Alex. So let's see what happens. So the first time I fought my first Guile, wasabeef, this is basically how the match started. He's just doing a lot of sonic booms and I'm just slowly inching forward, not being threatened by the sonic booms. So this is deja vu. It's like okay, I'm playing like a similar Guile. But then watching this replay again, I noticed that he knocked me down with at least 3 sweeps, and that's something I'm not too proud of. And I also rarely anti-aired him, except for these parries. He did get some few free jump-ins. See, that's like the second sweep with his Guile. See, and he just did like 2 jump-ins, and I'm just letting him get away with it. Oh. Yeah, and I did have one of my friends record this match for me. Another free anti-air jump. So at this point, I didn't really feel too threatened by this Guile player, or by his Guile. So it was pretty easy. But then I took the match, and I just breathed a sign of relief. Like, okay, first match, done. And then he goes to character select. I was like, oh shit. At first I thought maybe he's just trying to buy some time, because the loser of the first match, he can go to character select me, buy some time, and go with Guile again. But he actually picked Bison. So then at this point I was like, so did he use Guile as like a decoy just to like assess how I played and then pick his main character. That's what I was thinking of during this moment. And you know, Bison's one of the best characters in the game. Last year's EVO champion used M.Bison. So then I'm like, oh, okay, let's, you know, I was just curious. But then once we got the ball rolling, I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But then, you know, with Bison, you just gotta be careful. That's it. So I know that Bison right now, he has no meter, so he can't really threaten me with his crazy EX moves. So I can just wait it out, and then I also have the health lead, so I don't have to do too much. I don't have to sweat too much here. I can just let him come to me and let him kill himself. Right? I mean, no need to worry. I just need like a jab to beat him. But then he is kind of killing me right there. But then, fortunately, I had to parry. I had some meter. And I just remember when I played Laura, when I used to play Laura, I remember some recommendations on approaching the Bison matchup is just wait it out, play the long game. You don't need to hurry up. Just let him chase after you. So that's sort of like the same strategy I adopted for this matchup. And then if you're in up close with Bison, just keep pressuring him, because Bison has really bad defense. So just keep pressuring him, keep smothering him. And then that's how I took the second round. And then after that Bison match, BG Mega Man, I shook hands with him. I was just really happy to get out of pools. And then the tournament, the bracket runner, the person who's like keeping tabs on like who's winning, who's losing this bracket, you take a picture, so when you guys show up for the next round. I was just really happy, and I just thank that guy for like running the bracket really smoothly. And then when I walked away from the table with my friends, BG Mega Man, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, like, did you knew how to fight Bison?" I'm like, yeah, you just gotta wait it out and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, you saw, he's like, yeah, it really seemed like you knew what you were doing, like you knew every answer to what I was gonna do. I was like, yeah, I mean, stuff like that. So, you just gotta read up on that matchup knowledge. It's one thing to go into training mode and learn your combos, but matchup knowledge is also really important, So then I beat BG Mega Man, and then I go into the second round, so this was on Friday at 2 p.m. Second round was next on Saturday at 2 p.m. So then here's the second round, and these are all the people who made it out of their pools, and these are all killers. Dual Kevin, who placed top 5 at a recent major event. Orsonite, who was in my previous pool, undefeated. He also beat Tsumuji, who I lost to. You got CJ Truth, one of the best Kami players in Florida. Goichi, he actually won Dragon Ball Z at EVO, at this year's EVO. He beat Sonic Fox. And then so when I walked up to the table for this pool, I actually saw Tsumuji during the roll call, the bracket runners, like Panasonic, Tsumuji, Goichi, just making sure people are here for the attendance, making sure. And then I saw Tsumuji, like, hey dude, he's like, hey, we played, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, you sent me to losers yesterday. He's like, yeah. And he's like, dude, you were really tough. Because like you were my first match, and I had no idea. I thought it was gonna be easy and stuff, and then like you You know, like I wasn't expecting, you know, my first match to be really tough. And then I'm like, dude, you you were so good that you made my other opponents look so weak. You were like another level. And then he's like, oh dude, thanks man. I was like, hey, you got Twitter? And then we just followed each other on social media, and you know, he was really cool. Tsumuji, I really like him. So I'm like, dude, you know, if we win our next couple matches, we're gonna play each other again and stuff like that. So yeah, like I'm right here. If I won my next two matches right here, I will be right here. And then if he won his next two matches, 1-2, the two of us would play again. So that would have been so funny. So yeah, for this losers second round pools, I actually fought today's CEO. So the funny thing is, 2 hours before I left my hotel room to go to this match, I looked him up on Street Fighter 5, and it turns out he's an ultimate grandmaster, ultimate master, I think ultimate grandmaster, ultimate master, Dhalsim. And that's like, he was like extremely high rated, like maybe like top 500, one of the top 500 players in Street Fighter 5 online. Meanwhile, I'm like, you know, 25,000, like 25,000 on Street Fighter 5 online points. So I was kind of intimidated a bit, but he's also playing Dhalsim, which is actually one of Alex's even, if not favorable, matchups. So, and then, you know, I ran a couple like practice scenarios with my friend Jerry, and then he just because he used to play Dhalsim, Jerry. So yeah, and then going to his match was like, you know, whatever happens. I'm just glad I made it out of pools. And here is the match. It was also really, really packed. A lot of people crowded around this table because, you know, there are other pros nearby. So then I asked one of my friends, like, record this for me. Like, dude, can you record this for me? Yeah. So the game plan is to just keep away from Dhalsim, and I was just mainly waiting for him to teleport near me, and whatever he does at the distance, I was just trying to deal with it. But I was mainly looking for the teleports. That was my initial game plan going in. And then if I ever had like the opportunity to get in nearby, do as much damage as possible, or just stick to him like white on rice if possible. But the hard part is getting near Dhalsim. But I also didn't want to risk taking too much damage going in, because I am fighting a very high level player who's sponsored. So just trying, you know, just kind of keep away. But I knew I was also backing into the corner. You know, if I can hit one of his limbs, great. You know, because when he does those long attacks, you can hit the very edge of those limbs. Yeah, I also knew, like, just if he does those slide attacks, just punish it. Just try to punish it all the ways. Yeah, that was really, really bad first round. Okay, I get a chance. The one thing I really messed up here is in this match, just against TODAYCEO, was just not landing my meaties. So like, for example, when I knocked him down with the EX knee, I should have dashed up. And do like standing heavy kick or something. But then no, I didn't dash up. I just knocked him down. I stayed where I was, and just did a standing medium kick. Terrible. That was terrible on my part. Okay, so this was really good to see stuff like that. Just take advantage of the knockdowns and get in him. And then this thing right here. So I activated V trigger. I tried to do a meaty lariat. He teleports and goes back. That's no problem, especially if Alex has V trigger activated, because when Dhalsim teleports, he can't do anything for like a second. So he lands, but then my standing heavy kick is within range to kick him. And once I kick him, I can combo it into my V trigger, and then I'll just say I link it. So now it's going to 2-hit combo, and then I have a little mix-up opportunity right here. So I just go for, back throw, put him in the corner, and then now he's like low on health. I probably could have been able to kill him easier if I just did, EX back throw, use a meter, or maybe even a flash chop, and then have another mix-up opportunity without having to use meter. But then for this moment right here, we're both low on health. I could have easily messed up. But I just went for a YOLO headbutt, and then some people in the crowd was like, "Oh shit!" And then even TODAYCEO, when I landed it, he just like his entire body just leaned back. It's like, whoa, what? It was hilarious. It was awesome. Getting the reactions, getting a strong reaction out of your opponent is pretty cool. So it's like final rounds, like, oh shit, is this a real match, So yeah, there were a few times where I tried to jump in, but then he had really, really good anti-airs. He was always on point with his anti-airs. And these yoga flames, these air yoga fires, he kept doing that, and it just made me really, really uncomfortable, because I know after he does that air yoga flame, he still has the advantage to do whatever is next. So in this second match, I would try to V reversal his air yoga flame. Okay, that was a big mess up right there. See, I would just try to yoga flame V reversal, but then that turned out to be a huge mistake. Because even if I V reversal, he still has an advantage because my reversal is so slow. So I think he took notice. I mean, so yeah, this was really good from him, from TODAYCEO. And I think this next round was a blow up. He just absolutely destroyed me with his yoga flames. I think he just knew I was gonna be reversal it, and that part I messed up. I basically just started to crack. I was like, oh man, and he just got this huge momentum right here. So yeah, props to TODAYCEO for taking advantage, exploiting what I was doing, just abusing it. But yeah, he was a really tough opponent. Yeah, and that's a good thing about like just looking back at your matches and just at the very least try to identify what you were losing, maybe what you did okay with, and then just next time, what to look out for, and it's also like a good time capsule just to like, yeah, those are good times. So I think that's all I'm gonna talk about on those matches, on those little match breakouts. So yeah, at the end of the day for EVO, I ended up being so yeah, this was my placement 385 out of 1951. It was actually really good, best I've ever done. These were my previous rankings. Last year went, I think last year went 2 and 2, not sure. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the EVO matches specifically. The weekend was pretty cool overall, nothing bad to say. I just wish I took advantage of EVO weekend, like just do more, explore more fundings. But the event itself, the tournament, the matches, the people, everything was cool. So I had a good time, and I definitely would like to go again next year and just try to be better. Maybe let's get 5 wins out of 2. Let's try that. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.